All right, so we're now getting into our conversation on the Ghana card and the many questions that you have coming through. Abudu Ganiyu, he's the head corporate affairs at the National Identification Authority. He's with us in the studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And thank you for making time to join us.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you've been going through the questions that people have posted, but I want us to first start off the last time when you came in.
Yes.
You indicated that the NIA will be opening its district and
regional
offices. So there are more than 270 plus. 291 offices. So we're expecting that was going to happen. It was supposed to be at the end of October.
Sure.
Eventually, you put out a schedule, a press release that indicated that you're starting from November 3.
Exactly.
I believe. But it turns out that from November 3, people can't just get their cards. You've rolled out a schedule. So walk us through the schedule.
Okay, so the schedule is very simple. We ended a refresher training for the staff that we recruited. That was on the 31st of October, last week, Sunday. And we opened the offices on the 3rd of November, 2021. So up to the 5th of November, we decided that for newly recruited staff going to the districts and regions to work, most of whom are going to these towns and villages for the very first time, there was a need for us to do some more stakeholder engagement, some sensitization and whatnot. So that took place from the 3rd to the 5th, so ending last week Friday. So from today, the 8th of November, all the way to the 16th of November, we are going to be issuing cards that have been in backlog since the end of mass registration.
Okay.
So basically,
so the first phase is for people who have already issued their cards,
who have already registered but haven't
received their cards.
Absolutely. So haven't received their cards yet. So we are going to be doing the issuance from today up to the 16th of November. Then from the 17th of November, we will start what we call the new registration. So persons who have not yet registered for the Ghana card at all, they will now be able to register from the 17th of November. So that goes all the way. I mean, so as long as we continue to be present in the regions and the districts, then you'd also have some other category of people who have lost their cards are damaged, they want to do replacements. So replacement of cards will start on the 29th of November. Okay. And whilst doing replacement, we'll also be able to do updates. So people with wrong spelling of names, people who want to add names to their present names, so on and so forth. So all those updates would also start on the 29th of November. So this is a schedule that we have put out. And the last bit is the registration of Ghanaians who are below 15 years. So we work out the modalities, all the measures that have to be put in place, and we would issue another release to that effect when we are ready.
Okay, so one of the schedule you have for the people who are now new registrants, how long is it going to take them when they register before they get their card?
Yeah, so it's expected to be instant. During mass registration, there were some challenges, obviously, to do with internet connectivity. But in these offices that we have set up, having conducted a survey, we are quite sure that internet at these offices will be much better. And for people turning up to register, the most important thing is satisfying the requirements and making sure that whatever data you are giving us is accurate, is consistent, and you should be able to walk away with your card instantly.
How long do you estimate it's going to take if they get in and start the process?
Yes, normally it will depend on the number of people queuing for the interview to take place. So once the interviewing is done, it's a matter of entering the data by the data entry clerk. And the process, within 5 to 10 minutes, your card should get printed. Not sure.
From the process, from the point where
the data is entered. Yes, Israel. I don't know what process you went through, but for others who have been at the various offices that we set up before the establishment of these permanent officers.
Okay.
Once they went there and they met very few people at the point of the interview. Once the interview is conducted and the data is entered, 5 minutes, it's enough. And you get your card instantly. So people can testify to this.
Okay, I want you to once again tell us when the new registration starts.
So that will be from the 17th.
From the 17th
yes,
until?
17th November, the perpetuity. I mean, so as long as we have national presence. I mean, the difficulty was always we not being present across the regions and districts. So we have come to stay like any other state institution. So you just walk into any of our regional or district office and you'll be able to seek these services.
But they're also talking about those who want to do corrections.
Who wants to do corrections or, so corrections or updates, you know, to their present data.
Theirs will start when?
So theirs will start on the 29th.
On 29th. So it will be alongside new registration.
Exactly. So it will be alongside the new registration. Then for persons whose cards are lost or damaged, they can also come for replacement starting from the 17th as well.
Okay. And let's be sure about this. This is going to be free.
Yes. So as long as you turning up at the regional or district office, registration will be free for new applicants. So these are persons who have not registered for the Ghana card at all. So they are doing so for the first time, and that will be free. But for persons who are coming for their cards to be replaced, so you have lost the card, you've gone to the police for a police extract, you've come to the NIA, NIA will print a new card for you at a cost of 30 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
And we've always mentioned that. Now, for persons who are coming for updates, if the update does not lead to the printing of a new card, you don't pay anything. So say, for example, you lived at a particular place at the time of registration. Now you've moved to a different place. You want that record to be updated. It doesn't lead to the printing of a new card.
Okay.
So you don't pay a dime. But for persons who must do changes to names, for instance, which will normally appear on the face of the card, it will mean that a new card has to be printed for you.
Okay.
And that is where you pay the 30 Ghana cedis charge as well.
All right, so let's get on to Facebook. There are a number of questions and we'll have to go through as many of them as possible. So let's go to our Facebook page where you have been asking your questions, and let's get to run through the questions. And at some point, if possible, we're going to open the phone lines and get to take some of your questions as well. So let's go on to Facebook. But before we do that, or whilst we put up the Facebook post, there's I got a question to someone who is asking, is the Ghana card going to replace the dual citizenship card? This is somebody who lives abroad.
Yes, I mean, you still need a dual citizenship card. A dual citizenship card is just to prove that you have now acquired another citizenship or nationality. And that is what you actually need as a dual citizen to be able to register for the Ghana card. Because at that point, you are most likely to have both a Ghanaian passport and a foreign passport as well. So for us to prove that indeed you are still a citizen of Ghana, you turn up with your dual citizenship card before we register you for the Ghana card. And we've had those instances quite a lot where our compatriots abroad come to the registration center possessing a foreign passport. And in fact, it's surprising because mostly that's what they like to travel with, even though they can still travel with a Ghanaian passport. So when you come that way, insisting that you are a Ghanaian, our suspicion could be that you have probably denounced your Ghanaian citizenship. So we would want you to come with a dual citizenship certificate or card as proof that you are still a Ghanaian before we register you for the Ghana card. It's very simple. I mean, last week I had quite a lot of these issues to deal with at the headquarters, because every now and then you have them come in possession of a foreign passport, yet they insist that they are Ghanaians.
Yeah.
And these things is document based. We need to be able to prove this before we allow you into the national identification system.
But then if they have the pass with the Ghana passport, then that wouldn't be an
Absolutely.
issue.
I mean, once you come with a Ghana passport, that qualifies you straight away. So it's either the Ghana passport or your Ghanaian birth certificate, and there you get to register. But just as I indicated, so some will come with a foreign passport.
Do you say birth certificate, Ghanaian birth certificate?
Yes. I mean, so let's say you were born in Ghana, for instance, and you acquired a Ghanaian birth certificate. So that still qualifies you to register for the Ghana card. You get me? So then you would have those people come with a foreign
Will the birth
passport.
certificate alone suffice?
Yes, the birth certificate alone. So it's either the birth certificate or the passport. Then you add the Ghana Post digital address. So for all the other sectoral IDs, once you bring them, they would just achieve the purpose of data harmonization.
Okay, let's get on to Facebook now. So please, my question is, I got a SIM card which was already registered in someone's name. So how can I use my Ghana card to register it? Okay, I'm not sure if Abdul is in a position to answer that. This is more like an NI question.
Yeah, so he has to go to the telecommunication service provider with the appropriate documentation, maybe with an affidavit, for instance, so that those changes can be made. But it's all this that we are trying to curb, the fact that people now have to re-register their SIM cards using the Ghana card.
Okay, so we have asked them for me, why is it that the telcos are asking for our fingerprints again for the SIM registration? Can't NIA provide the AFIS fingerprint database to all required institutions to do their verification from? There's no need for any other institution to capture fingerprints. Citizens should always go to NIA to update such data.
Yeah, there's a need for this because it is another level of verification. So you may have gone through the process trying to register for a SIM, but no one can be sure whether you were the one who actually went through that process. So if you turn up at a telecommunication service provider with your fingerprints, they are able to validate that indeed you went through the process, because this whole thing is about avoiding identity theft. So if your Ghana card it's on the table, you turn away and I pick it, I can easily go through the process and use the card for any purpose, but it will still be in your name. So it's good that we all turn up so that the validation is done, ensuring that indeed you are the one who went through the process.
But I've heard the communications minister also indicate that they're looking at coming up with an app that you can get to register without having to go to the telcos.
Well, I don't know how that's going to work, but I think that these are issues that have come up at the technical committees, and we all have found the need to go through this particular process because you simply can't be sure.
There are people who are quite frail. They're old, they're frail, and they can't, it'll be difficult to move them. They're probably bedridden. How do you move them to the telco?
If there's another mechanism that would ensure that this is done, probably through intensive public education for people to know that they must do everything possible to protect their identity, and all of us can really go with that, then there will be no need turning up. But you just can't be sure. I mean, somebody's card can even get missing. It's lying somewhere on the street. Somebody picks up because the person has such a fraudulent intent. The person takes it and go through the process. So in the end, you would have re-registered SIMs or created an opportunity for people to use their Ghana card to register for SIM card, but you still have all the problems and all the bottlenecks that we are currently confronted with as far as use of SIM cards is concerned.
Okay, Abdul Razak, your namesake, he says, my name on the card was wrongly spelled, but I couldn't realize it for more than a year until now. Meanwhile, I've used the card to register for many things. Please, how can I solve this problem?
Yeah, so the person just needs to go to the district or the regional office with the appropriate documents, the documents that the person used in registering for the card, for instance. So it could be the birth certificate or the passport.
So I don't quite get it, but if you're out of the country, I think there's some arrangement for people who have their SIM cards. They're outside and they're using their SIM cards. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I know the NCA is working on something like that, just to ensure that people continue to use their SIM cards once they are outside Ghana, and then an opportunity for them to do the re-registration anytime they are back home. So those are issues that the NCA has to project, much more loudly for the good people of this country to know.
Okay, so Lord Jidodo says, yes, I have a big problem. Did you know about half of Ghanaians don't have the Ghana card? And two, after the Ghana card have been issued, you still can't use it at the bank since it's not in the system of the NIA. Ghana is a scam. Okay, so this is the inability to use the Ghana card. So some banks are not accepting, well, several banks are not accepting the Ghana card, and it's been a problem.
Yeah, that's because there's always a schedule. And I know that the banks have been given up to December to put in place whatever infrastructure they have to put in place to be able to verify the Ghana card. I mean, at NI's end, we are ready. We have been able to successfully build a verification platform that has been piloted successfully, but they have to acquire verification machines and
so
ensure
you're saying
that
the banks which don't have the verification
machines,
exactly, it's their problem.
It's their problem, basically. So they are supposed to put that in place, and will be able to verify any use of the Ghana card once the person turns up for any banking service in this country. So some banks have already done that.
Which are the banks that are accepting the Ghana card?
Yes, I know Cal Bank accepts it. I know Stanbic Bank, UBA. So these are banks that have invested already, and day in, day out, they are able to use the Ghana card. Banks that are yet to invest in this kind of infrastructure write to us every now and then to validate people's identity cards when they are applying to open bank accounts and whatnot, which can take a day or two before it is done. But the problem becomes the real-time verification.
Yeah.
So you go to cash a check or make a transfer, immediately they have to be able to verify your identity. So it's a process, and I know the Bank of Ghana is working with them so that at some point you would have all the banks in Ghana being able to verify people's identities.
Some Tuga says, I don't know why they removed all the other ID cards with the exception of Ghana card. Meanwhile, they have issues with the Ghana card. Living in a country where you cannot buy memory chip and use if you are in need of one. If voter ID can't be your identity card, then why are we using it for balloting? Okay, not sure about your question. Abbas Alasan says, yes, sometimes you try to register a new customer, but the feedback will be that your Ghana card needs to be validated. Do we have issue where people's cards would have to be validated before they can register it?
Yes, I think the telecos probably would have to take another look at their system. Most of these cases have come to NIA, and mostly when we check with our system, everything about the card is right, and they should be able to go through that process. So the NCA and the telecos probably will have to take another look at the system, and then individuals who are also going through the process must ensure that they understand all the steps and they are able to go through it. In keying in the number, how the number should be keyed, normally it starts with a GHA before all the other numbers would follow, and you also have to avoid a hyphen, for instance, when you are entering the number. So these are some of the mistakes that people make, and when they come, you just go through the process with them and it's able to go through.
Right.
So I think that there's still some more education that has to happen at the level of the telecos and the NCA to get this thing going successfully.
Okay, so the next question on Facebook is from Alfred Shikafi Taylor. I'll be coming to that in a bit, but we're also opening the phone lines for you to join us with your questions. 030-221-1691 or 2. 030-221-1691 or 2. Give us a call. Let's get to hear from you. Whatever questions you have for Abdul Ganiyu from the National Identification Authority, we're ready to take them. So Alfred Shikafi Taylor says, my question is, if an authorized person uses your card to register his or her SIM, how will we know? The system should be made in a way that when one ID card is used for registering 2 or more SIMs, they should verify from the owner of the card, because a lot of job seekers send their cards to the job poster as a requirement in applying for jobs. Some of the mobile money vendors are also using people's cards. All right, so I guess that's what the NIA has been saying, that's why you're supposed to show up at the telco, so they validate your fingerprints and make sure that the card, you're the owner of the card that you're holding, and so you can't just sit in your home and do that. All right. GH Casti says, I didn't get mine. I came to the regional office last week, but the information was that on the 3rd, they'll be coming back to regional districts so that we can get it. But till now, I haven't seen nothing working around my area. And secondly, waste my time coming there, and it was a waste of journey, a wasted journey. There, I need this card for a lot of verifications. When people ask the EC to send every picture to. Okay, so he's saying that he's been, GH Casti says he's been to the regional office, and there's nothing happening.
I don't think that's today, because today really it's where the offices are open for business. I told you that the offices were established on the 3rd, but we needed to do community education and sensitization. And
so it is
that
today.
ended on the 5th. So it's today onwards. The person should be able to go to the district office.
Okay.
And should find our officials there.
So we have some calls coming through. Jeffrey is calling from town. Hello, Jeffrey.
Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I have a little challenge. I want the gentleman to help me sort it out.
Sure.
We registered in Sunyani. We've relocated to Accra. At the moment, I heard him saying we should go back to Sunyani for the cars.
Yes.
Now, considering the cost of moving to Accra, Sunyani from where we are now, is it possible for us to pay for a new car to be generated for us as where we are?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, that will amount to double registration. And
no, he's asking if they could pay for the new card to be printed.
Yes.
Yeah, so the point I'm making is that the card has already been printed, and wherever it is lying, we should be able to issue it. It's going to come at a very huge cost, like I indicated earlier, and no two cards are supposed to be printed or in the possession of anyone.
No, okay.
So that's the point.
Jeffrey, let me just help you here.
Yes.
Isn't it possible?
Yes.
For one to have your card, maybe a copy of your card? A second.
No, not at all. When your card is lost or damaged, you come for a replacement. But under no circumstance should two cards be printed at the same time.
So your card, your card may be lost. Or
yes.
What if Jeffrey?
So exactly. So if your card is lost, so that's where you report to the police, so that you have given the police an indication that the card is lost. So the police
will
issues.
You be required, a police report?
Yes. So the police issues the extract. Then you come to the NIA for a replacement to be done. But in this case, the card is not lost. Do you get me? So once the card is not lost and it's been printed already, we cannot print a new card when there's nothing wrong with the card that has been printed.
Okay, so Jeffrey, it looks like you have to go back to Sunyani.
It's expensive.
Yeah, but under the circumstances.
Well, you see, there are very few places that you can acquire a passport, for instance. So that if I was in Tamale and I've applied for a passport in Accra and they tell me it's printed, I have to travel all the way to Accra and get my passport issued to me. So it's the kind of importance that we place on the Ghana card. Right. That will make us travel to anywhere to find it. And you have to do so because eventually, without the Ghana card, many of these services you will not be able to access them.
Okay. Joe is calling from Brekum. Hello, Joe.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I would like to ask, registration is still ongoing. Other people too have issues with their earlier cards. Why is the NIA don't complete all the registration before other organizations or organizations can come in to use the Ghana card to work? Because it came up that the government workers in November should all migrate to the Ghana card, and it became a panic within the system. So why is NIA not completing all registration? Making sure about 90% of the population is having, or about 99% is then all other issues come up.
All right, so I'd want to look at it from this point. If we're waiting for everybody else to get their Ghana cards, can you imagine the crowd that's going to converge at the, you know, the telcos, for instance, to want to get their SIM cards? I think it can work. We can work alongside.
Well, even the hue and cry about not using the Ghana card. I mean, when we started registration in the Greater Accra region, the few who got their cards were already expressing that concern. Why are you guys not using the card yet? I've just registered for the card. It's in my pocket. It is of no relevance, so on and so forth. And within the identity management space, once you are able to build a database of about 80% of your national population, you have what we call a national identification system. So at that point, you can put it to all the users that you've always aspired. And as we said, we've registered about 85% of that adult population. So the few who are yet to register, now they have the opportunity to do so through the regional and the district offices. So please, the state institutions have been waiting for some time now to simply piggyback on the database. And we are at that point. Senate is on board, GRA is on board, NHIS is on board, and all Senate subscribers, for instance, at the moment have been validated in the system. Over 2 million of those people. So I think that it ought to be the way it is.
And
yes,
again,
than any other way.
And again, I'd want to add that, yes, if we're waiting for everybody else to do that, and everybody else decides that, or there are some people who decide that they're not going to get the Ghana card, means we're going to wait forever.
Exactly.
So, yes. We have Sadiq calling from Accra. Hello, Sadiq.
Good morning, Israel.
Good morning.
Please, I want to find out from the gentleman. I registered in the Central Gonja district.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I misplaced my card. But I have a copy of the card on my phone, because normally when I'm going out, because I fear to misplace it, and I have this shot on my phone. So whenever I go and they ask me for it, that is what I produce. So in this scenario, do I have to go back to Central Gonja district for the replacement, or I can still have my replacement in Accra here because of I'm relocated?
All right. Abdul Ghani is going to answer that.
Yeah, so replacement, you can do it right here in Accra.
Okay, so Sadiq, you can go to
the NI head office.
Yeah, the NI head office, or can he go to a district office?
He should go to the NI head office, because replacement, as I indicated, will start on the 17th. So I'm sure there's a card that
if he wants to wait. Okay, so but if he can wait,
up to the 17th, then he can go to any of the district offices.
Okay, so Sadiq, you got that right? All right, we have Florence from Casper. Hello, Florence. Hello, Florence. We lost Florence. We have Idrisu from Nima. Hello, Idrisu.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. My problem is my sister registered in Nima here, but I learned the NIA vendor is operating in Osu, whilst Nima is in Ayawaso East. I don't know how come the vendor of Ayawaso East work in Osu. So I just want to know if there is something that...
How's that possible?
I don't get it. Nima is in Ayawaso, right?
Idrisu, you'd have to explain again. You're saying that your sister registered where?
She registered in Nima.
Yeah.
But she wanted to collect a card, and then the vendor said it's operating in Osu.
Vendor?
Office.
Hold on. Vendor, really don't.
Which vendor are you talking about?
NIA vendor. Like operators. They said that their system, they set up their system at Osu GIE. Then I said, you are the vendor of Ayawaso East. Why are you operating in Osu?
Okay, so those were the 34 registration centers we had initially.
Okay, so
located at premises
Idrisu,
of Ghana Revenue Authority.
Yeah. Idrisu, when did your sister register?
ACC Lima class of school.
When?
During the March registration.
Exactly. So the card will be part of the backlog cards that will now be issued in the district and regional offices. So NIMA must be found within a particular constituency or district. So from today, NI would have an office there, so that when the person goes, that card will be issued as well.
Idrisu, is that clear?
We spoke to the director or the one in charge, and he said because he doesn't get office in Nima or Ayawaso, that's why he's operating in Osu. I don't know.
No, so I just explained that. So at that time, we opened these offices within the premises of GRA. So we didn't have the district and the regional offices. But from the 3rd of November, these offices are now open. So if Nima is within Ayawaso, that means in Ayawaso, NIA would have an office there. So if the person goes there today, those backlog cards within Nima will be issued to persons who registered during the mass registration.
Idrisu, is that clear?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Okay, thank you. We have Joe calling from Accra. Hello, Joe.
Hey, Israel, good morning.
Good morning.
I want you guys to please explain further that when the guy talked about getting his car from Sunyane, your guest referred him that if you want a passport and it's done in Tama and you are in Tama, you have to drive back. That to me is thinking backwards. We are going forward. We are digitalizing everything. Why can't the National Education Authority make it possible for somebody who has a card in Sudan and wants to pick it up in Kumasi, be able to do that easily and safely? All he has to do is to pay for the cost. He can go to the office and they will take his information to the person. The card will go to the office for the fee. We don't have to make people travel across the country just to go and pick a card. That is it. And if we are modernizing our system, this should be part of the modernization. And we should be able to do it for people to collect their cards at points where they are. They have to or to go and get a Ghana card.
Okay.
That makes it more difficult. But you should be able to do this.
Okay. So he's saying that why can't the NIA make it possible for people's cards to be dispatched to them by courier?
Well, this is an exception. So the system was fashioned in a way that once registration took place, you get issued with your card instantly. And most of the cards were issued instantly during mass registration. So now that the permanent regional and district offices have been set up, we do not anticipate a situation where people register, they have to wait for so long before they get their cards. So once you register in a particular district office, your card will be issued to you. So yet the backlog cards is an exceptional case, and under the circumstance, that's the only thing we can do. It's quite unfortunate. But once those backlogs have been cleared, then going forward, we do not expect the situation
to arise where
exactly
somebody's card will have to dispatch.
Yes. So really, if there will be no need, in my view, to make that kind of investments if it's just an exceptional situation.
Okay.
So going forward, that issue should be kept completely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We have Salifu on Facebook saying, I only have a question about the wrong digital address number plates they kept on houses in Tamale. Where did they get the names in naming those areas? Who did they consult? Did they even regard our district assemblies at all? Okay, I'm not sure if that's something that Abdul Ghani can take. Isaac is calling from Kumasi. Hello, Isaac. Hello, Isaac. Hello, Isaac.
Yes, hello, sir.
Yes. So let's hear you.
When the exercise was being started, I wasn't around. So I just heard recently that the exercise is still going on. And I want to know from the gentleman at your studio that when again are they going to start the exercise again?
Okay, so we've been through that conversation. So now the registration is starting from the 17th.
Sure.
Registration for new cards. So if you don't have a card yet and you are yet to register, then it's starting from the 17th. But if you have already registered, then your card has been issued and it's available in the district where you registered. So you can go back for the card.
I have not been registered yet. I'm yet to be registered.
So you wait up to the 17th.
So you have to wait until the 17th.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Welcome. All right, that's Isaac calling from Kumasi. We have Frederick says, what if there is a change of name? Emmanuel Osei, but now the name on the Ghana card is Emmanuel Pong. Can he still register? Yeah, I don't get you. Emmanuel, what if there's a change of name? Emmanuel say, but now the name on the Ghana card is Emmanuel Pong.
Okay, so that means that at the time the person registered, he was called Emmanuel Pong, and that's what is on the Ghana card.
Okay.
But the person has since changed the name.
Okay.
So
it means he would have to get a new
exactly.
card.
So he has to get an affidavit, he has to gazette it, and then come to NIA for a replacement to be done, for a new card to be printed at the cost of 30 Ghana cedis.
Okay, Kutina says, Kutina Richard says, I wish you host MTN Ghana to explain to us why sudden change in their promotions. Oh, how does that have anything to do with the conversation we're having? All right, but thank you. We have Philip Doe says, please, is there any means that they can email us ID in form of QR, the ID in the form of QR code, so we can use it for now? Because some of us who registered are finding it difficult to get the cards itself. You get it? Say
yes. The card has to be issued. I mean, it's very much possible that there are problems. So as far as data that you gave us is concerned, so that adjudication process must take place, and eventually a card is printed and claimed before it can be issued to you. So if you are not sure about all these processes, you can't just go into the system and begin to pull out people Ghana card numbers and be giving it to them. It doesn't work like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Abdul Ganiyu, for making time to speak with us. So Abdul Ganiyu, I've been answering your questions, but we still have people who have questions. I don't know if the NIA can get to our Facebook page and have someone reply to some of the questions that they have.
So I'll set up my officers to do that today, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's there. I mean, the questions are there, and I'm sure others will be posting their questions. So if someone can just go there and answer.
I follow you quite a lot, so probably I'll answer some of them as well.
I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Abdul Ganiyu. He's the Corporate Affairs Manager at the National Identification Authority. He's been answering your questions, and he's promised that he's going to get his officers to go on Facebook and also get to still answer many of the questions that we probably may not have covered in this in the conversation this morning. You're watching the AM show. As I indicated, we're going to be talking about Keta, getting to Keta to find out what the situation is there. Be getting an update. To stay tuned in. We'll be back in a bit.